All right. Well, we're live.
Welcome back, everyone. And so there's going to happen, yes. Hi, welcome back. Some slight technical difficulties aside, we are back with Chronicles of Divastara, episode 3. Joining me today, we have Drevian.
I'm Drevian, and I'm playing Ingrid von Ryder, a Shadowmaster rogue.
And Yari.
Hi, I'm Yari. I'm playing Morgan Thompson, a Oath of Sacrifice Paladin.
And Jeremy.
I'm playing Astra, who is a Gepetan warlock.
And Julia of the Zodiac System.
Hi, I'm Julia and Sally of the Zodiac System, and we are playing Ygraine Bone Chewer, the Hexblood Witch.
And as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights. Happy Wrath, as it is indeed the month of Wrath. Also, Minority Mental Health Awareness Month and Disability Awareness Month.
Okay.
So keep those in mind along with your gay wrath. And when last we left off, our group had decided to quit the vicinity of the tower of Caius Silvertouch, the transmuter, the specialist in changing things, in particular the people that live around his tower, opting instead to see if they might find some assistance either in traversing or acquiring a method of traversal from the vicinity of the tower of the necromancer of the 12 Towers, making their way through the wilderness after first meeting and acquiring into the party Ingrid von Ryder, the undead from the realm of from the kleptocracy of Nox. The group made their way through the wilderness and encountered the surprisingly sharp cutoff between the realms that are not around the Necromancer's Tower and the realms that are, including a cliff and a long drop and a rickety bridge to try and cross over it. And upon journeying into the realms of the Necromancer, determined that something about the Necromancer's Tower and their practice of magic had dramatically altered the shape of life in the area around the tower, with many of the natural, air quotes, flora and fauna seeming to abandon traditional methods of harvesting energy and instead drinking life directly from the land and from the other creatures that inhabit it. This practice seems to have carried on into the society around the tower as well, as the group makes their way into the vicinity of the Tower of the Necromancer. And we pick up with the group having just arrived within town. As a reminder, the last goal that had been established, as far as I understood it, was that you were intending to seek out whether there would be anyone who would be able to provide assistance with some means of traversal through the wilds, and whether or not you might be able to perform the kind of task that is done as the kind of favor that might earn one, say, a gauntlet runner. One of those large mobile devices that is often used to traverse the wilderness. With that in mind, setting the scene once more, the smell, the thing that strikes you about the area around the Necromancer's Tower is actually the lack of smell. They're really, you would normally expect like the sweet, almost like disturbing sweetness of death in the vicinity of a place that thrives on such things. But this place is almost clean, almost sterile in its smell. There really isn't a smell to this place, which is perhaps more off-putting than if there was one. The environments around are largely this sort of contrast of muted browns, grays, and greens. There is an amount of vibrancy and color that is brought to some of the buildings that have been painted in various different ways, and the clothing of the people, which, despite their pallid nature, is largely relatively normal in terms of like coloration. You will find various different colors. Like the common folk tend to wear blacks and browns, but you'll find a few people who are either performing a merchant task or something in specific that'll wear more bright or colors intended to catch the eye. But the last thing that you had noticed upon arrival was the fact that all forms of cheap manual labor, the kinds of things that would be considered a menial task, construction of buildings, operation of carriages, maneuvering of large doors and gates, even as you sort of take a look around and see the interiors of some buildings, service of food is handled by various forms of undead. And they seem to be largely sort of tailored to the task at hand. Things that one might consider in need of a more delicate touch seem to be handled by vaguely present spirits. The actions that require strength of arm are handled by hulking zombies, and things that require manual dexterity seem to be performed by skeletons or things of the like. The variety of undead is distinct in this area, and normally this number of undead would be difficult to maintain control of without any of them going wild and attacking the living. There's something unique at play here. But this is the sight that greets you as you enter the town. What is your immediate approach? Are you going to try and... Are you looking for anything in particular? Are you looking to talk with any of the townsfolk, or are you heading straight for the Wizard's Tower?
Probably talk with the townsfolk first. See
Yeah.
what the general disposition of the mage in the tower is.
Yeah. Morgan's probably gonna stick back just a little bit from like the front of the group, despite being someone who's normally used to talking to people. This is a place that she is probably not the most. They're having the opinion that they're maybe not the most welcome as a holy person.
If you weren't so racist against the dead.
Okay, in fairness, usually when I see a dead thing walking, it's coming to attack the people I'm trying to protect.
And you're running off prejudices.
Experience, and I didn't attack you, just threatened.
I think you should look at your internalized biases. That is 100% an in-character quote from Astra, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's the doll inside your backpack mentions.
I mean, once the doll has been removed from my backpack, but whether the set doll is walking on their own power or clambered up on somebody, I don't know. But
no, I can. We're not in Prettyville. I can walk again without worrying about somebody grabbing me and trying to fix me.
You're gonna fit fine here.
I'm not undead. I'm a doll.
Oh, no, that was out of character.
A living doll. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. No,
what are you saying? All non-living things look alike? Is that what you're trying to say here?
The microaggressions from the paladin, from the cleric, or
paladin, yeah,
got it right the first time.
Yeah, From the holy person.
I am used to a place where 99% of the time you see an undead, it's attacking. It's coming out of the wilds and it's attacking. I understand that not all of you are like that. Clearly.
So you said
Still
clearly
going to be on edge kind of experience.
indicating to a carriage made that is driven by skeletal horses being driven by a skeleton that is just carrying civilians down the road.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm still going to be kind of on edge just out of personal experience.
Well, this is good for you. It will expand your horizons into a place that is not living privileged.
Yeah, says the one who got kicked out of their own home, talking to the one who got kicked out of their own home because they decided to stand up for themselves. Living privilege. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure.
You can have all sorts of types of privilege. I'm just saying.
You sure can. I didn't get many of them.
You're alive. That's privilege enough.
No, that unfortunately is a curse.
You're not wrong.
No, you nailed that one, yeah, pretty much. Anyway.
Tall Cliff is just over the corner.
I'm good, thanks.
I don't wish to see if I don't wish to test my capabilities in flight today.
For reference, Ygraine, you didn't catch most of the journey because the other person was in the driver's seat for most of that.
I'm familiar with that. I'm very familiar with that feeling.
Yeah. You do remember there being a giant rickety bridge because you're pretty certain that she put you in the driver's seat just to frighten you at one point. But
I don't remember much of the trip. I remember a rickety bridge, some screaming, and then we were here.
Yeah, that's about what happened. Decided not to deal with the weirdly attractive people and the archmage that was in the city at the time. So
talking to some of the townsfolk.
yes. They're looking around. Variety of things you can see nearby. There appears to be a blacksmith. There does appear to be a tavern nearby. And you can see like a number of people seemingly just walking the streets, seemingly without much in the way. It seems to be just taking a walk. They're in your immediate vicinity, aside from those buildings. You see a station for those wagons, presumably for chartering traversal across the town. And what appears to be some sort of civic structure. It has sort of like, it has the air of not quite a town hall because it's not like anywhere centrally located, but it does have the air of like, come here if you need to talk to an official and get something official done.
Let's start with the tavern.
All right.
okay.
You walk over to the tavern.
Get a feel for the people from the bottom up.
Sounds good to me.
You walk over to the tavern, and you notice everyone here is kind of pallid. Not like literally undead, but no matter what their like tone of skin would normally be in an environment that wasn't this, it's all kind of ashen. Because fun fact, everybody has a weird way that their skin turns when they die. It doesn't matter what their original tone was. And everyone here has that kind of pallor to it. But all of them seem perfectly alive other than that. And as you step inside the tavern, yeah, the environment around here is surprisingly not somber. You step in through the door and you can suddenly hear the sound of a skeleton band.
A wake, not a funeral.
Yeah, it's very much a wake rather than the funeral. There you can hear the sound of a band of skeletons playing a variety of instruments to create some sort of lively music. As people around here are eating, drinking, you notice that there is an amount of food, like actual food, but most of it seems to be that same life essence, weird energy looking sustenance that you've seen before, whether in like small capsule form or just literally as like a green liquid poured into tankers. There are like some like breads, some different forms of food, but they seem to be few and far between. Probably like a delicacy. Like if someone wants to really like pay for a good meal, they'll get something that's actual food, rather than just getting something to eat to sustain themselves. And there are like a few actual drinks that aren't that same sustenance as well. Though a number of the drinks that might look like wines or ales also kind of have that greenish glow to them. And yeah, the environment around here, people seem to be chatting, having idle conversation. You spot like immediately around you a pale woman with sort of almost like hay yellow hair. Like it in any other environment, it might have been like a bright golden blonde, but here it's kind of like straw yellow. That is just sort of idly chatting up the skeletons that are serving as wait staff. None of them seem to be responding to what she has to say, but she just seems to be talking to them out of habit. Presumably because she doesn't have anyone else to talk to, and they are at least a sounding board for her to get her thoughts out. As she's just this is the last time that I try and get any kind of trade going with the other towers. I never seem to get anything whenever I'm trying to talk about products that are useful. The necromancer's going to give me a hunt about it, but oh well. Not like it's vital. We've got everything we need here.
You're echoing kind of and sort of going in and out a little bit, to me at least.
How? There's no one else in this house who's on this thing. Let me turn my fan down. Maybe it's doing that.
I think the noise gate is because it's when your volume drops a little bit.
Yeah. It might be that my noise gate is trying to drop the fan noise and thus dropping some of my volume.
Yeah.
So I just turned the fan down a bit.
Cool. Yeah, no, it was a little bit hard for me at least. I don't know if anybody else to get what you were saying.
But you pick up a bit of you pick up a bit of idle musing.
What she said.
Yeah, you pick up a bit of idle musing in regards either ways. Whether or not that's an individual you want to talk to or not.
I'm just gonna. There is just a shout it out because I did make out problems negotiating with other towers. Because they all suck.
Yeah, this woman sort of turns and looks over at the group of you as you enter. Ain't that right? She says, holding up a mug and then setting it back down and continuing to just like chat at this skeleton that is serving her.
I give Morgan the most self-satisfied look possible.
I'm okay. Just if it works, I guess.
You have to know your people. And that is somebody I recognize as a kinship, as somebody who doesn't like the towers.
Fair enough. And there's kind of a polite nudge forward with her foot, just to kind of get them to do the talking then.
Oh, you want me to talk? Okay.
Just kind of
that's a choice.
Like, well, it's working.
So what? So how, yeah, I'm gonna go look up at the look back at Morgan, look up at the stool, look back at Morgan, up at the stool.
Uppies, uppies.
The straw-haired pallid young woman would sort of reach out and offer a hand to help you onto the stool.
No, I want them to do it.
By the scruff of the neck.
Good enough.
Just one hand, just I'm making visual jokes like you can see me.
Punk.
Just one hand, just thump, and then
Fucking
pulls up the
works
stool
for me.
next to her.
So
you're
sorry.
You're a colorful lot.
We are.
Long story.
Ygraine literally wearing the rainbow.
Like in tarnished gold armor.
So sorry, I missed some of that. How exactly are the wizards fucking you over?
Mostly just being a bunch of independent twats who don't understand the concept of trade.
Yeah, that sounds like it tracks.
I'm supposed to be like communicating between the towers, facilitating trade, getting some of our business out to the rest of the towers, but fucking everybody else doesn't understand the utility of a fucking skeleton.
Which towers? Which tower specifically are giving you the big problems? Is it everyone or?
I mean, the ones that, like, Celis's tower is the one that's closest to the center. She's fine. I can occasionally get some business with her. But fucking Caius. Skeletons don't meet my aesthetic. Fucking bonce.
Yeah, that tracks.
And don't even get me started on the illusion tower. I don't even know if I'm there half the time anytime I try and approach.
That also tracks. Yeah, we just came from Caius's place. We were there quickly. We left quickly.
I say you don't look like you came from Caius's place.
No, because we left quickly. I'm Astra. This is Morgan. Run around all the names.
If I were to hazard a guess, you're probably all stranded by the upheaval then.
Is that what people are calling it?
Is that?
That's what the wizards are calling it at the very least.
Oh, what do they have to say about it? As I put my elbows on the table and put my hands on, like, fingers interlaced, like I am so excited to hear what they have to say about this.
I mean, I don't talk to most of them aside from Terfaldrin, so I mean, there's only so much that I know.
And that's who runs this tower.
Yes.
Nice. She thumbs in the direction of the Necromancer's tower. But according to Ter, she says that she's not the most familiar with what exactly happened, but she says that according to Celis, at the very least, who's come by a couple of times now and might be here again soon, that they've been calling it the upheaval, and that whatever happened, it resulted in a handful of people from everywhere ending up somewhere else. Usually not in as big of a number as you lot. Usually it's like one or two at a time being thrust somewhere else.
Hmm.
There have been isolated pockets of like 4 or 5 maybe, but usually it's an individual or a pair of individuals will end up spirited away somewhere else. They're still trying to get a handle on what the hell happened and where everyone ended up.
Anybody important get vanished that you've heard of?
Not that I'm immediately aware of, though I wouldn't particularly know unless Ter saw fit to tell me about it.
Which I'm assuming they haven't.
Not yet, but it's also not relevant to me. People around here, I mean, there was one of our amateur animators ended up vanished, but that's the only one that I can think of off the top of my head.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
Assuming they end up somewhere that doesn't have a particular distaste for necromancy.
Gonna say in the said in the most least convincing way possible. Listen, I'm just saying there is a lot more space that is just the wild than there is civilized space. So
Don't I know it? Vanil, by the way. Pleasure to meet you.
nice to meet you.
When
So, yeah.
she
Oh, go ahead.
when she mentions a place that that when she mentions the bit about the necromancer being in a place that tolerates necromancy, gives a look at Morgan.
I mean, yeah, there's a something clearly going on in their head. They don't say anything, obviously.
In fairness, we don't even know if everybody ended up on the ground.
That's fair.
Some people could have ended up like a mile in the air.
That's fair. We haven't seen anybody drop out of the sky around here, but again, our scope is kind of limited.
Well, we all ended up fine apart from the little one here, who ended up halfway in the ground.
Halfway in. No. I ended up halfway in the lake.
Fair.
It was mostly still. It's like a lot. Not like I was. Yeah. I'm sure the spell was like, this is clear space because the silt, the dirt and silt and stuff was loose enough. I doubt anybody was teleported into walls.
Here's hoping.
No,
I mean,
but
if they're an asshole, good.
I feel like things would be a lot less entertaining if they maintained any level of composure and nothing short of chaos. That is what was prescribed to our regions, correct? There are probably plenty of people who were no longer people after the upheaval. They've been transmuted into something greater. Corpses.
I mean, you say that, but Big Voice in the Sky did say they were thrusting chaos into the world, and a dead body's chaotic for a minute. A live person who doesn't know where the hell they are, that's chaotic for a lot longer.
Listen, I'm just saying, if the body falls into a munitions factory and starts a spark, that's chaos that lasts.
I mean, you got me there. But what brings all of you to this tower? It's not exactly a tourist destination.
Never underestimate the utility of a dead body.
Not wanting to be in the uncanny valley, as it were.
I mean, yeah, if you're not the kind of person to enjoy Caius's work, it can be a bit off-putting.
Yeah, it was this and she'll kind of mentally check the map, check her mental map. Me forgetting what would have been the one before.
The Abjuration Tower is on the other side.
It was that or Abjuration, and we took our bet.
It's hard to get to the Abjuration Tower, as you might guess, considering who runs it.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Also, fuck those guys just on principle, because I guarantee there's something really fucked up going on there.
I try not to get in the business of the let's call them esoteric towers. The straightforward schools of magic and the wizards that run them, you can kind of guess what you're going to get. You know, evocation, conjuration, necromancy. The esoterics, the abjurer, the illusionists, the God help you, the enchanter. Good luck.
Good to know. Good to know. Anyway, speaking of chaos, since we are part of that little upheaval, we're trying to find a way to get around if we need to. Spread said chaos if that's our goal, if that's our task. Uh,
I mean, whether it's a task or not, some people might like that idea. Some people might stand against you. I'm a little indifferent either way, personally.
yeah, I'm not sure if this was intended or not. I don't know, but anyway, we're looking for a way to get around, and you were wanting to. You said the necromancer was going to kill you if you didn't get this trade done.
Not
Is there
kill
any
me,
chance
just
we
give me
can
a
scratch
hard
each other's
time.
backs here?
Terror's not nearly so vicious as to just kill someone because they couldn't do a job for him. Honestly, if I had to rate the necromancer, if I had to rate the wizards that I've met, she's probably one of the more calm.
Yeah.
Comes with people not being sure she's got a pulse anymore, but you know.
Good to know. Point is, can we scratch each other's back here? If you can get us
maybe
a line on what was the thing you said, Molly said was get us around.
A gauntlet runner. What's the name?
Yeah, in character. Because again,
oh, you're looking for a runner. All right. Well, tell you what. You might be able to solve my problem, and I might be able to solve yours if you're willing to follow me to the tower.
Potentially, just to be, not that you would necessarily know this, but you deal with the other towers, so maybe you might. I don't know that I wrote down. What is the name of the divination tower wizard?
They are usually just referred to as the Watcher.
That's
No
it.
one actually knows who they are.
Wouldn't happen to be any representatives of the Watcher here at the tower currently, are there?
Not at the moment. That paranoid kook is going crazy.
Yeah. I mean, how terrible for them.
nice save.
That was certainly a reaction.
Smooth as silk.
Out of character, nobody will ever know.
Nobody will ever know. No, cool. Then yes, let's definitely go. Not for any reason there is no reason why I would ever have any reason to be concerned that a Watcher's representative was here.
I'm not even going to bother questioning you about that one. I just know that you might be able to fulfill what I was looking for and help Tear out, and Tear might be able to get you what you're looking for.
Cool.
All right, well, follow me. And she'll stand up, down her drink, set it back down. See you later, Rattles. And she'll start walking out. Assuming the rest of you are following?
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
So the walk to the tower is a relatively brisk one. She knows where she's going, so you're not wasting time trying to figure out which turn to take to get closer to the tower. And it's the tallest thing in the area, so it's a pretty easy navigation point to focus on. And eventually, you get into its vicinity. There isn't like a gate or like a wall around the outside of it. It's just there, kind of in the center of town. And as you approach its front door, you get a good look at this structure, and it is. I mean, for those of you who have seen Lord of the Rings, the tower of was it Barad-dûr was Sauron's tower.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of got that aesthetic, like all black, sharp edges, balconies, big spiky things, just missing the giant flaming eye at the top.
Yeah. Full Maleficent.
Yeah.
I see that someone is both overcompensating for something and leaving nothing to the imagination.
There are plenty of balconies that sort of stud around the outside of the tower as it rings upward that all have some variety of like undead watcher, just sort of keeping an eye on things. And as a reminder, now that you've gotten this close, you can see how gigantic it is. An enormous black bird that is perched on top of the tower. And by on top of, I mean on top of. Its 2 taloned feet bridge the width of this probably 50-foot wide tower. And its massive dark wings are just kind of furled up as it sits on top. This bird is gigantic. But at the foot of the tower, you spot 2 people who appear to be in the midst of conversation. The first communicating to the second, as I have said previously, the rest of the 12 could probably do with a bit more manners. I have already tasked Caius with being as generous as he can manage. You sense the tension in this person's voice. With the people that wind up within the purview of their tower. I don't need to tell you this, but be aware that the people who may show up here may react adversely to your minions. Give them the grace you can afford, please. The second voice responds with this sort of airy, sepulchral tone. Please, Celis, there is no need to worry. Those under my command are no threat to any who I do not direct them to be. The 2 people you spot that these voices belong to, the first speaking is a tall woman, maybe 6'2", maybe a little taller. She is dressed in a long, tightly fitted, but well-cut robe. Seems to have like a bit of space cut around the side of the waist just to show off a bit of hip. Sort of almost waist cape-like bottom half that leaves open in the front for a pair of leather breeches, generally greens and dark reds. 1 armored pauldron on the right shoulder, these sort of long gloves that sit about mid-arm and stretch all the way down to the hand where they fold around the middle finger as sort of the focal point. With the sort of like green undercut, shaved on both sides, pulled back into like a brief braid at the back. These sort of green, sickly-looking crystals sort of formed around her boots and around the edges of her cape, and sort of clasping her central piece of her chest piece. There's the faintest like greenish tint around her cheeks, almost like the outline of scales on the sides, with serpentine-looking eyes, sort of yellowed eyes with slight slits in them. And she is carrying no less than 7 swords on her. There's of all different varieties, long swords, rapiers. You see spy a katana, a cutlass, an old-fashioned spatha, a great sword. It's just a number of different swords just on various points on her person. Who seems to be the leader in this conversation between the 2, which strikes you as odd considering the other person looks like a skeleton. And you would typically imagine them to be the one who is in control of any conversation just by virtue of intimidation. You spot this sort of like, their left arm is entirely covered by this long, flowing black cape with this hood embroidered with gold, and You're not certain if their face just is a skull or if they're wearing a skull mask. But it has these sort of like glowing green eye sockets. This armored gorget that reaches up to about the chin with what look like skeletal hands reaching up to like clasp at the edges of it. Sort of black robe covering what looks to be heavy armor. The right arm encased with like this mixture of leather and plates. The hand that they use to gesture. Seemingly, the glove turns into skeletal fingers, and you're not certain if that's an aspect of the glove or their actual hand. And as they talk, the thing that might lend it credence to possibly being a mask, their head moves as if emoting, but the mouth does not when their voice comes out from inside of that skull. But as the two of them talk as you approach, the skeletal individual turns their head to look at the group of you. Ah, Vo, I see you return, and with new compatriots. The head sort of tilts to the side as if scanning all of you. The woman with all of the swords sort of turns and looks. She just sort of gives all of you a curt nod and seems to like almost be looking through each of you as if she's trying to stare into your very essence. But she sort of turns back to Ter and I will leave you to greet your guests. Please think on what I have said. These ones seem less at ease than one might expect, but who knows? I will speak to you again later. She sort of steps off to one side and just kind of moves a finger in a circular motion, and swords made of energy just kind of spring up from the ground around her, and there's a circular wipe as if just like spinning in place, and as the blades wipe, she is just gone. Leaving the group of you with this imposing figure dressed in black robes and either a skull mask or is a skeleton. As the group of you approach, and Val, as is apparently her nickname, sort of speaks up. It's good to see you again, Ter. I thought I might bring along these folk because they seem to have something they're looking for, and I figured they might be able to assist you with the particular problems you were asking me to look into while I was looking for trade. And I guess I'll leave you to it. Ter just kind of nods as she turns, gives the group of you a nod, and heads off, leaving you in the necromancer's company. Well, I suppose introductions are in order. I am Ter Valdrin, the arch-wizard of this tower. And you are?
I'm very specific, keeping my mouth shut.
Being
Morgan, go on.
being undead, can I look for the signs if the necromancer's still living?
Roll me perception or insight, whichever is better.
Let's see. Perception's better. Or I could roll terribly.
With a 9, not certain. It's hard to tell, especially with a necromancer specifically. Like, the more powerful a necromancer gets, the closer they get to undead anyway. So, it's hard to say.
Yeah. I have an easy way to tell. I also don't want to go blind in the necromancer's tower.
That took a minute, but I got what you were saying.
But yeah, just if no one else speaks up, Morgan just Morgan Thompson from Brumore.
You're a long way from home, holy woman.
Yeah, it's not by choice. No offense, of course.
As it usually isn't, I'm discovering nowadays. And the rest of you?
Iedereen bonjour. Of kidding.
There's that. There's a lot that is conveyed in that.
Iedereen just gives one of her like skin kind of crackling smiles ear to ear.
Her eyes sort of roam over to Ingrid. Does Ingrid introduce themselves or just stay quiet?
With the gaze on her, Ingrid will give her name, just her first name.
She nods, looks over at Molly, who introduces herself, and then the gaze sweeps left and then down to Astra.
Hi.
Greetings, small one. I suppose names aren't necessary for all of you.
They absolutely are not.
Nonetheless...
No offense, I don't know you.
That is fair. Val seems to think that the lot of you have potential, and I tend to trust her judgment. What is it that the group of you are seeking that she thinks that you might be willing to perform a task for me?
We need a way to be able to traverse the wilds. Let me correct. Let me put that more specifically. We need a way for some of us to traverse the wild, because the rest of us that can traverse the wilds.
A way to move about safely.
Yeah.
To obtaining gauntlet runner, I believe was the term.
That's way too much. Oh well.
That is a princely reward, and one that indeed I am able to provide. The task that I would ask of it is not a small one, but it is one that the supply of a gauntlet runner might help facilitate, and as such I might be willing to place it in your care as part of the procurement of our deal.
Shoot.
But I think you, she says, looking across the group of you, and in particular at Astra, clearly do not fully trust me, as I would not expect you to on our first meeting.
Yeah, it's nothing personal, and it's nothing about the undead thing. I want to be very clear about that.
Why are we not friends? We have exchanged names.
We are not friends.
I don't think it's entirely not about the undead thing, she says, looking at Morgan.
Oh, sorry. In my case, it's not about the undead thing.
It's... While you have a good read on me, I promise you it's nothing personal, and I understand these. I'm getting a grip on the situation here.
Nothing personal, just prejudice.
Personal experience.
Limited personal experience contributes to prejudice.
One that I have been very vocal in trying not to ingrain into my head.
Admirable.
But yes.
What am I doing to your head?
I don't think Morgan can keep a straight face on that one.
Nothing in public, I hope.
In likewise, it would be foolish of me to entrust so valuable an object as a gauntlet to a group of individuals who I have never met, sight unseen, with no guarantees or proof of your reliability.
Your logic is sound, and thus I don't like it. Because it is not to our benefit. But go ahead.
To that end, I offer two options. Either perform a preliminary task for me, and your performance on that will help assess how much I can trust you with the loaning or even gifting of a gauntlet runner for the pursuit of the second task for which I would offer its trade, or one or all of you submit to magical means of ensuring your reliability in this task.
So what's our what is our preliminary task? Because that latter thing, I am being on my best behavior when I say no, thank you.
I assumed as much, all things considered, but I wanted to place it there in case expediency was your only option.
I got time.
If all of you are in agreement. You guys looking
And
at the rest of it?
I'm not personally against the if I can recognize the spell you're thinking of.
It would be a chaos, if nothing more.
Oh, little stronger than I was thinking. Okay.
Wait,
yeah, no,
sorry.
I was thinking like Zone of Truth. No, that's yeah. I'm willing to do more work for.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, we are on the same page. Cool. Hey, first time for everything.
In that case, if all of you are of a mind.
I'm of two.
I began to suspect. While I try to keep a tight and controlled leash on the undead that are in my employ, the upheaval has caused problems. A creature under my control, originally designed as a collector, intended to retrieve remains for the creation of additional servants, has been separated from my control and gone rogue. The degree of intelligence that was required to be placed into its vessel to facilitate its task means that it may begin to pose a threat to nearby civilians in its vicinity. And unfortunately, it has grown familiar enough with my magics to avoid me at all costs, which makes my own retrieval or disposal of it rather difficult. I would ask the group of you to dispose of this bone collective before it threatens anyone's life.
All right.
I've been able to trace its general location. And I do hesitate to send you back in this direction, but it does appear to be in the vicinity of Caius's tower.
Thing is,
There are
don't
less
have to deal
unfortunate
with him.
things.
As long as you don't have to deal with him directly, I suppose.
The Bone Collective is a tiny thing, but powerful and cunning. Its venom is not to be trifled with. But you will know it by its propensity for, as its name implies, collecting bones, which was the task I had originally assigned for it. Anywhere you find the bones of the dead going missing, seemingly out of nowhere, especially in parts, you will likely find a path that can be traced back to it. I don't suspect that any of you will be able to place it back under my control, so its elimination would be preferable, as it is now a threat. And I would rather it be destroyed than it threaten the lives of any innocents, not only for the danger that it poses to them individually, but to the safety of my tower, should word get around that my creatures have been causing problems. Others may seek retribution, and I would rather not put the lives of those under my care any further at risk.
Absolutely understand.
Perform this task. Survive. As I say, the Bone Collective is not a trifling matter. And I will, based upon your performance, judge you worthy of being given possession of a gauntlet runner that is currently within my possession. And then I will lay out for you, should you survive and return, the second task that I would have you perform in trade for the gauntlet runner. Are we in agreement?
Sure.
You have my word.
Fine by
Oh.
me.
I look forward to seeing how this turns out.
Very well. I offer you this to assist, she says, as she sort of reaches into the confines of her robe and pulls out a black orb and just extends a hand to hold it out.
Ukraine will move forward and take it. It's for pondering, and she's a witch.
You pick it up and you look at it, and you see a violet eye sort of peer out of the darkness of it, look at you, and then look in a direction.
We follow the eye.
That will guide you in the direction of the Bone Collective. It's not precise. It will get you a vicinity.
It will get us close enough, and I'm sure the carnage left in its wake will point us in the directions towards it.
Indeed.
And I can narrow it down from there.
Good hunting to all of you. And I look forward to your safe return.
And let's be honest, you look forward to us fulfilling your side of the deal. Our return safely is probably kind of secondary. That am I wrong?
I don't wish any particular harm upon any of you. So
No, but you wouldn't
seeing you return safely upon completing my task would indeed be preferable.
Right, fair enough.
At least that way, she doesn't have to hear it from ravens.
That's true. That is actually a fair point. You will not have to get answers as to what happened. Okay, I can see that as a reason.
That, and should you complete this task, you may have a chance of completing the second task that I will have for you, which means I will get yet more help.
Right. Shall we be off then, I suppose?
Ygraine will take the orb and sort of hold it out in front of her and just follow as it goes.
In general, it's pointing you back towards Caius's tower, so you'll be going that way probably for a while. You probably won't need to check the orb again until you get much closer.
Yes, back to the city with everyone who looks like me.
Please feel free to take what rest you need. The facilities of my city are open to you should you require anything to purchase or an evening to sleep before setting back out on your journey.
I say, probably hard to tell because of the way the sky is right now, but what time of day is it?
She looks up as if the sky is an easy way to tell what time of day it is for her.
Fair. She's used to it.
It's approaching the evening. The sun will be setting soon.
Probably best to head out first thing in the morning then.
You know, she says the sun, you cannot see the sun.
Yeah. Morgan's taking. That's almost like it's the most normal weird thing she's seen today. I mean, yeah, if you wouldn't mind pointing us in the direction of somewhere we could stay.
Absolutely. The Sleep of the Dead is a personal favorite of the occasional traveler. There is also the Rock Bottom Inn and the 6 Feet Under. My people are, if nothing else, creative.
Very literal with their naming.
It's something I've considered as one of the charms that my people have.
Gallows humor, as it were.
Indeed. Though, is it really gallows if you aren't going to die for it?
I think that's actually a fair point.
So, that was in character voice. It should have been out of character voice. So, where are you headed for the night?
Six feet under.
Was gonna say there's
tavern,
inns
right?
in town.
Yeah, the tavern, right? The tavern, right?
The tavern, of course.
I guess if that's more comfortable for you all.
Ygraine is used to sleeping in the woods and in alleys. Yeah, no, an inn is perfect.
An upgrade.
We'll sleep wherever.
So you head to 6 Feet Under. The name is both being creative and also literal. As you learn, the inn has a very small ground level, which is mostly just check-in and dining area. All of the actual rooms are underground. There is a series of steps down under the earth that leads to a complex of rooms that have been spread out with supports built in everywhere. And if asked, the innkeeper will mention that there's a lot of real estate underground when no one else is using it because no one's buried around here.
Right.
So yeah, let me pull up the player's guide real quick, just so I know what fair prices are. Yeah. In stays are 3 silver a room.
We will absolutely get a room.
Sorry, how much?
3 silver.
All
Sharing a
right.
room with somebody.
I mean, if you want your own room, you can, but I feel like the Geppetto can probably room with someone without issue.
Mhm.
That's not the point. The ability. First of all, I have 65 gold that I'm probably not going to spend anytime soon.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Want and need are different.
correct.
All I can imagine is the doll puts the chair in the middle of the room, keeps the lights dim, and leaves the door cracked as it sits on the chair.
Wait for somebody to come in. I'm out of practice. I need to get back into practice if we're going to be hanging around wizards this much. But side note, I adore D&D Beyond. There are a lot of great things about the character sheet and how it works. If there's one thing I wish they would do, it is in the monetary aspect. Apply these standards. So, like, if I have just listed, for example, totally hypothetical example, 65 gold pieces, and I want to deduct 3 gold pieces off of that, I would love for it to be able to just deduct a gold piece and add 7 silver pieces.
Oh yeah, just make the blade
Yeah.
work across the coins.
Right? Yeah, because if somebody is that wants to be that specific about how many platinum and how many gold and how many electrum, etc., they can do the work of, okay, I take it off here, I take it off here. If somebody's just like, I have 65 gold, I'm taking off 3, I get my 7 silver in return, the system should be able to adjust for that.
Yeah. Also, just get rid of Electrum.
I love Electrum.
No, I love Electrum. Electrum is the greatest thing ever.
Wow, I'm in the minority here. Okay.
I should be clear when I say this. I am also an enormous fan of the $2 bill.
I mean,
I also love a $2 bill.
I mean, the debate on that one does not mean anything to me, but fair.
Like the $2 bill. So, and that is a big reason why I love the Electrum piece, because there's some vague, there's some vague correlation within them. And it's partially because they were all printed in 1976, and that's the year I was born, so I feel some kind of kinship with the $2 bill.
Fair enough, I guess.
I mean,
also, they do call the $2 bill queer as, so
yeah. I mean, also the $2 bill is just considered lucky in where I'm from.
Just saying, a $2 bill is a proud icon of the community.
Sure. I have no strong opinion one way or the other.
We love an Electrum piece in this household.
We love an yeah. Long way around to saying we love Electrum.
That one I have opinions on, but I'm not here to argue too hard. I was just making the joke. This is the first time I've walked into a room, said that opinion, and been told the opposite, like the majority of the opposite. Huh.
Did the camera just rearrange?
Yes, the camera's just rearranged because thanks, Trev.
I've literally not done anything besides be confused about what's happening.
No,
Yeah.
but your camera did briefly turn off and then turn back on.
Which means all the cameras are rearranged.
Weirdly, here's the thing. Weirdly, this did not affect the one on my desktop, the one that I am pointing at right now. It only affected the one
Only
that is
affected
streaming
stream.
off of.
Because of course it did.
Of course.
All right. It's not. Oh no. It's actually really.
Anyway.
Oh no. It's fine. I just have to move Drev up
Yes.
here, and we're all back in place.
Okay. Anyway, back on topic.
Back
Alright.
on topic. Electron pieces. They're great.
I meant the actual game topic. but-
Oh wait, was that not the topic?
I was gonna say. No, I knew it was coming. No. Is anyone splitting a room so I don't have to pay the full 3 silver? I can if no one else wants to, but no reason we couldn't split a room.
I mean, here's the question.
Yeah, well, your grain will invite you to stay.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll do
I was
that
going
then.
to say, the question is if the question, for, at least from Astro's standpoint, was whether Morgan asks if someone wants to split.
Morgan would throw out the idea just to save money, but not in like a begging for a roommate or anything kind of way.
Okay, if Igraine is good with splitting, then Astro will remain uncharacteristically silent and not be creepy.
All right, so that's Igraine and Morgan, Ingrid. I'm assuming, are you getting a room by yourself or splitting with Molly?
You're just getting a room by yourself.
All right.
I will share a room with Molly so that Katie doesn't have to come back and see why do I have 3 silver pieces less.
I'm gonna sit down.
So Molly will stay with the creepy doll.
Yes,
I'm not prepared.
Molly's
for the game
favorite person.
yet. At least not until after I eat.
Any conversations that you'll need to have before we rest for the evening and take our break for the session?
I mean, I think no conversation because I am in a room with a character who's not here, but it may come up relevant in terms of we may need to do a flashback later, depending on how Katie feels about it, because Astra is just going to sit on the bed and maybe they're asleep, maybe they're not, but they are staring at Molly the entire time.
Is that what you're going to do to
at the-
Morgan?
I mean,
just the doll at the foot of the bed looking at Molly the entire time.
absolutely.
Yes, that was absolutely why potentially with Morgan was an option.
Yep.
I don't know if it would cause a conversation, but Igraine is doing a ritual that it will change the familiar she has for the next day.
Oh, there's that. B, I will remind there was a pin put in the fact that the last time Igraine spoke during your journey, it was not Igraine's voice that was coming out.
Yeah, that's one of those Morgan still think it's a little too soon to ask the weird questions.
And Astra isn't in the room, so they're not going to ask.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, and Morgan's not particularly bothered by a familiar spell, particularly. Though seeing a ritual happening, Morgan is going to be doing her little preparation ritual, which is again writing the tenets on the gauntlet, like she was doing her intro scene.
The thing you'll notice, she uses a lot of actual things you would see in actual witchcraft to do her spells.
Nice.
The wolf begins to shag out and then just become a pile of yarn, which then starts turning colors and weaving itself together into a small golem that eventually steps out of the summoning circle.
They're adorable.
What kind of small golem?
A yarn golem.
Yeah.
Amazing. as far as Astra is concerned, if only one person walks out of that in room tomorrow,
It's
well,
the Yarn
then
Golem.
it was the person who was intended to walk out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Talk about
Ingrid doesn't stay in the room all night, or doesn't even stay in the room, and goes and tries to find someplace to read.
All right.
That's
I mean,
fair.
there's plenty of like odd lighting and like low light but still lit places where you could get an easy read. What in particular are you reading?
Anything that she can find about necromancy.
Roll me Arcana.
There's
Or I
any way
can
you
fail
find it.
horribly.
Or you can roll a 5. Well, fortunately, you're in the right place to learn things. What kind of questions do you have? And I'll see what answers you get.
Construction of undead, like various processes for making undead, or
So, you learn some of the fundamentals of necromancy with only a 5. You learn that necromancy is the magic art of controlling life in the various forms that takes. Many people have often posited that healing spells are necromancy in just a more publicly acceptable form than most people would consider. The classification of healing magic has changed many times in many debates, according to this book.
necromancer's just a late healer.
According
It's
to
fine.
those weird wizards that live on the coast.
A necromancer is just a doctor that arrives way too late and had their medical license revoked. The line I didn't have my medical license. I didn't have my medical license revoked for nothing, as they cast Raise Dead.
Full on Kevorkian / Frankenstein shit.
You also learn that there are many classifications of undead, from the unsentient to the intelligent to the free to the ascendant to the agglomerative that are formed of many individual souls. And the lines are largely based on whether or not the thing has a soul and b free will. And usually the higher orders of undead are assumed to have both. But the baseline undead, your standard skeleton, your standard zombie, is usually typically assumed to have neither. Even a basic ghost is often not considered to be an actual soul of a departed person, and more just kind of a bit of life essence meshed with an echo of someone, which is why they aren't typically able to give you too much information that the person who had previously departed had, and often don't act exactly like the person who died, only like a distorted mirror of. Some more advanced ghosts persist and have more intelligence and emotion, and those are often considered a higher order undead that do have at least a soul, if not free will. But that's a topic for a different day, and that's about all you get with a 5. Even in a place as replete with necromantic knowledge as this.
It'd also probably help if Ingrid tried doing this during the day when there's people to help guide her.
You think that the undead city cares about the day-night cycle that much? Like, some people are aware of it. Do you think it impacts their schedule all that much?
Human body gets weird if it doesn't follow a circadian rhythm, though.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that circadian rhythm has to be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if their schedule was flipped? Basically, some people's schedule is going to be flipped because night shift. So
yeah, like there are a decent number of night owls. There is a higher preponderance of night owls in this town than you might.
Gee, I
find
wonder
in
why.
But yeah, with that, unless there's anything else to happen, you all get a rest, and that is where we'll take our break. Remember, when we take our break, you take your break. So sit up, stretch your legs, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Please enjoy these commercial messages.
they are alive
Welcome
or back or something.
Welcome back.
Listen, it is like fucking. It is almost 80 degrees here, so I mean
Ugh.
that's an excuse for drinking somehow.
Fair enough. So, all of you get an evening's rest.
Yep.
And assumedly in the morning, you start heading out back towards the transmutation tower. Unless you have different plans.
Take the open run. No.
We should talk about this though. Like, what is our plan when we go in?
It's big sword. I don't exactly have a purview of combat capabilities.
You can defend yourself somewhat, right? Even if you're not like fully kitted.
Of course, you don't get around in getting for several hundred years without knowing a thing or two.
Okay.
I mean, we're assuming that this thing is in the vicinity of, but perhaps probably not operating directly within the city, correct?
Based on your understanding, that would probably be a good be a good guess.
I assume if it were in the city, it would be dealt with by Caius. So
Yes, because it's ugly.
exactly.
Turns out it's in the city and he just made it to his aesthetic. He doesn't care that it's causing problems. He just wanted it to be aesthetic.
He just added plenty of riz to it. It's fine.
Yeah, no. If we can get in a certain vicinity of it, if that orb can lead us to the general location, I can pinpoint a location if I'm close enough.
Okay. How close is close enough?
She starts
Jeremy
giving a
knows,
rough
but Astra doesn't.
distance. She starts giving a rough distance. She wouldn't know it's exactly 60 feet, but yeah, 60 feet.
Yeah. All right. So not super.
Eye line generally, or if it were hidden, you know what I mean. But
Yes.
basically, would have to be within eyesight.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can do this without actually going into the city itself.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay, so what? 3 spellcasty types.
Oh yeah,
sneaky.
I'm not. Look, normally I'm striking. Normally, when I'm doing all of my murdering, I'm doing it from behind. But I am not incapable, especially if it is undead. I can. Well, I can still.
You work front row and back, front and back, basically.
Yeah.
Cool.
Front row, as in like I'm not tanking this thing.
No, that's my job. What I mean is you're
yes, you're front row. I'm
you
back.
can fight up close.
Correct. How about the rest of y'all?
Shrugs.
That's very helpful. Are you good in a fight? What can you do in a fight?
I can stab.
Can you stab well?
It's been a while, but yeah. I don't tend to deal with the living very much. And there wasn't that many undead.
Okay, that is actually a fair point. Morgan, come here.
Uh-huh.
But Morgan, all right, and I start pointing out on Morgan. Here's where the kidneys are. You stab there. Here's where you stab for the lung, and I'm proceeding to point out on Morgan's body where to kill them.
And when you start to move to the next spot, Yigra just points at, like, oh, you're moving up here? You're probably pointing here. And, like, preempts where you're pointing.
Morgan
All
is
right,
amused
you know
by
what
all
you're
of
doing.
this.
It's nothing personal. I'm just using you as a model.
Yeah. Keeping in mind that this thing is not me-shaped.
No, but it is generally skills are transferable in this case.
I don't know if this thing has organs.
Listen, I trust Ingrid to Yingrid, sorry, to be able to adjust based on physicality.
If nothing else, it has joints to move, and you disable the
Yeah,
joints, and it stops
yeah.
moving. Because I imagine if we disable it and bring it back in some state of alive, the necromancer dude will just repair it and put it back to work.
Also, this is relevant information in case Yingrid needs to defend themselves against your lifeist agenda. Deadpan expression.
If Yingrid doesn't cause a problem, I will not hit them with the sword. I've said this before. Anyway, if anyone
So you
gets
understand.
poisoned,
You understand, Yingrid, as long as you stay in your place and don't do anything that
that causes harm to innocent people, which I don't think is unreasonable. Anyway, if
Stay
anyone gets
in your
poisoned,
place.
because they did say there was poison involved, come by me, come next to me, I will heal you up.
As for what I can do in combat, I know a number of incantations that can maneuver odds in my favor. It's one of the only benefits I got from the curse that was laid upon me. I'm also able to damage property fairly well and have the ability to go unseen when the need arises.
Molly will lay out that she's got a few utilitarian tricks. She's not the most combative individual in the world, but she can probably be half decent support and can plink away with her crossbow and occasionally stab some things.
Yeah. Morgan's the only one with healing in this party, right? Does Molly get healing spells in the spell list?
Molly theoretically can at some point, but I do not believe has healing capacity at the moment.
Okay. Morgan's on heals. Cool. That's actually like perfect because that is the entire point of the subclass, is not having them not take a ton of damage. Yeah. Yeah, Morgan will off to lead if Ukraine will stay close by and actually like point the direction.
She's not territorial. You're a friend. She will hand over the orb.
Fair. Yeah, she'll take the orb then.
I do want to preface reiterate she refers to all of you as friends and has since the moment she has met you.
That was their first mistake.
Yeah, I did catch. We're friends now. We exchange names and everything.
Yep.
You're gonna be my friend.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Morgan's leading the way.
All right. So yeah. Someone go ahead and roll me a d20.
Ooh, on it.
Rolls a 1.
Fair enough. All right. Well,
Been there, done that.
I mean that's almost my trademark at this point.
So, the you pass the bridge without too much effort, having crossed it once already and sort of knowing what its environment looks like. But as you make your way through the distance, you pass through there's that weird almost permeability moment where you pass a certain threshold and the area turns and the filter that you had been seeing the world through, that odd thing that made everything, the sky look green and everything look weird, passes away, and you once again see the sky as it normally looks and everything looks more relatively normal again as you leave the domain of the necromancer. And the majority of the journey passes without much in the way of anything surprising coming along until you're passing through one of the outlying small hamlets. It's not really something you could even call a village. There's only like a handful of houses. It's usually just like a farm or two. That is near the vicinity of one of the towers. When I would like everybody to roll me perception.
Oh,
Let's see if I can actually roll better than a 5. I rolled a 6.
so
That's better
yes
than a 5.
is the answer.
Yes,
11.
by 1.
20% improvement. Good job.
To be fair, a total of 10.
So with 10, 11, 15, 11, Ygraine, this kind of makes sense. You've got your eye out for anything. You notice a shift in the wind, and you sort of pay attention to it, and the voice in the back of your mind utters into your thoughts, "Focus your eyes. There is something small on the wind." And you narrow in and realize that you're not looking at something specific in your surroundings, you're paying attention to your immediate surroundings. And you notice that there's like a particulate floating in the air around you. And as you pay attention to it, you realize it's bone dust. And as you sort of focus on it and pay a little bit of attention to it, it almost seems to recognize that you've noticed it and blows away.
The air is thick with literal death and bone dust.
I can't imagine that's good to breathe in.
He still needs Cheez-Its, baby. It cannot be.
Okay.
It's also operated as if it knew that I noticed it. It
The
is
dust?
unnatural. Yes.
I'm sorry, intelligent dust particulates.
And she will point the direction that they sort of whooshed off in, unless they just sort of went everywhere to the corners of her vision.
Yeah, they kind of they did. There was a specific direction. It was away from you in a specific direction.
Like that way.
Morgan's just gonna kind of hold the back of her gauntlet to her head and activate Divine Sense.
Did you activate that? There's not a specific creature in your vicinity, but you do get that sort of taste of something off, that tang of saccharin that always accompanies a sense of the undead.
Yeah, definitely nearby.
Notably, the eye is still pointing off in a different direction.
You think it makes sense?
Which way did you say it went?
She will point again, and then we'll look at the eye. Ah,
The
that
the
is
eye is-
unfortunate.
the eye is vague.
Yeah.
You might be too close to it now for the eye to be accurate.
Yeah. And it's
If-
not.
If we keep following the eye, it might just turn around once we're like another mile away.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Like,
I'm
you're
not getting
right.
a
The vagaries
specific-
make this difficult, but
Yeah.
if
I'm not getting
I
a
were
specific creature. Sorry.
if I were to venture, I guess a creature known as the Bone Collector might utilize its own filament.
I will note, its job was as a collector. The title that she gave you was Bone Collective.
Ah.
Which has a different implication.
Yes.
I'm not getting any specific creatures. Just the sense that one's nearby.
I mean, I'm not gonna
That's
lie.
not- Pleasant company.
I am vaguely more positively inclined to the Bone Collective because that sounds like a bunch of bones got together to fight against their oppressive
The oppressive regime under
The
which they're
bones you-
governed.
The bones
Correct.
unionized.
It's the bones unionized
You
against their body.
you mentioned oppressive, and Yingrid just kind of looks at Morgan.
Not part of the problem anymore.
I mean, tell me that you would
Actively.
not tell me that you would not support a collection of bones that rose up to unionize against their body.
I
am
choose
actually-
not to think.
I do actually support the worker, so if we're gonna go that way.
Yep.
I choose not to think of how my skeleton will serve in the wars after I am gone.
It's fine. your
That's okay. The
skeleton will-
necro Go
Your
ahead.
skeleton will hatch soon.
Oh, I hit that out of character.
I love that out of character.
Thanks,
You
I
don't-
hit it.
You don't have to worry about it because the necromancers have already have a plan in place.
Yeah, hopefully I'm not there to experience it.
Yeah, like you're dead. What do you care?
Exactly.
You're
Anyway,
off in your chosen realm of whatever deity that you worship. Your bones are just
Being collected.
Which is why I think we should go this way. With
like the
dust.
dirty
yeah,
socks you left
follow
behind.
where the dust went.
Okay. Bring the bones from the oppressive employers. known as bodies.
Da-da-da-da.
I feel like that is the ultimate side of
Starting the skeleton war.
I didn't realize the skeleton war would be against the bourgeoisie.
It's always against the bourgeoisie. That's the joke.
Is this now an episode of Dimension 20?
Yes.
it kind of is.
Get
Yeah.
in the comments.
We kind of went full Brennan Mulligan
Brennan.
in that particular moment.
Get in the comments.
So- It does not take long before you hear the crackling of flame. And shortly after that, screams.
I believe we have found that target.
Yeah, I think so.
I would like to hide.
Fair and valid.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That is an acceptable choice.
Crying is also a free action, I've been told.
Right? Yes.
Mhm.
Crying is 100% a free action.
We're supposed to be fighting an undead, and now there's fire and screams. I do not want to be seen.
Fair enough.
Morgan, however, is taking off effectively full tilt.
I'll make my way there, just like down a side road or an alley.
I realized I haven't put together your combat tokens because I wasn't expecting a combat anytime soon. But
Yeah.
here we
Yeah.
are.
You
well-
set this up.
Morgan's?
You set this as legitimately our quest.
This was one of several I will tell you, this is not the end result. This was one of several possible options for what you might encounter related to this particular quest.
Well, you should have planned for our pro union stance on bones.
I'm here to fuck up some lifers.
Oh, so we're fighting Morgan now.
Holy shit.
All right. Pardon me while I draw your initial encounter box.
I mean, ironically, this is actually kind of the point of Morgan's arc. You're just
Right.
is not being seen as the oppressive force, but like, dear God.
We're at the start of the arc where you are the oppressive force.
They're trying so hard not to be.
By the way, as Shawnee is setting this up, just to vamp for a little bit, I would like to direct everybody's attention to the latest issue of Something Positive, which is a great a web series, in which this week's episode, or this week's issue, or today's issue, I guess, has a character that is started off the series years upon years ago as the worst kind of D&D player. Now in a quick strip where somebody their kid suggests now there are ways that now there are services where people play for dungeon masters, you could make money, and the response is, oh boy, someone found a way to combine the hardest role in RPGs with customer service.
Yep.
So, as you approach, you find a farmhouse burning to the ground. That is, you hear screams being cut off, and the thing that you find as you approach is, as you approach, you see the building burning down, and in front of it is a skeletal figure on fire, and B, holding its hands out and throwing fire onto the house. And emerging from the house are 5 more skeletal figures.
The skeletons have hatched.
Three of which have sort of that baseline appearance of a normal skeleton. In fact, several of them appear to be carrying like farmers' implements, which implies they might be the recently acquired skeletons of whoever lived here.
Yeah, we don't accept forced joining of the collective. Sorry.
But
You speak for yourself.
2 of them,
Continuous enthusiastic consent.
two of them that emerged from the house have the appearance of more armored soldiers in skeletal garb, as if these were prepared ahead of time. That seem to flank the burning skeleton in its efforts. And I'm gonna go ahead and move y'all to the combat screen and allow you to choose your place within the deployment zone, which is the blue box I have marked out for you.
Bing.
Let's see. There I am. I cannot select me.
Hang on. Represents Astra. Name. Put this together. Need to make this token work.
There we go. Now I can select me.
AC.
NPC AC. Oh no, that's fine. It's the AC is incredibly inaccurate because I did not put my stats into Roll20. I'm using D&D
Right.
Beyond.
Yeah. That makes sense.
My AC is 13 if you just want to update that as normal. Just put a number in there.
Yeah, I can just set that to 13. Save changes. Update default token.
And my hit points are 20.
I love how Yingrid has taken the position of halfway off the map.
I mean, valid.
They did want to hide.
And HP, AC. Is your AC actually 12, Ukraine?
Let me double check. Yeah, I'm wearing armor at 11, and I have a +1 dex.
Fair enough.
Cool, I know who I'm activating that on.
Yeah, I think Morgan's the only one that I actually like pre-made as a.
Yeah, I got it set up. 18 is correct.
Oh, and I put the. Did I put HP as the red bar. That's why that's backwards for me.
Also, if you want to get rid of the 2024 version from the name thing.
Oh, yep.
There we go.
Ingrid. Lamb. HP. AC. There we go.
Oh, I almost forgot. Y'all need to watch K-pop Demon Hunters.
I was
right,
wondering
yeah.
if you were going to plug that or not.
I
Everyone
I
watched
have.
K-pop Demon
Twice.
Hunters.
I
I
almost
watched it
forgot,
like 8
and then I
times
went
now.
to go. I went to go put my watch on, and spoiler. Well, it's not a spoiler alert. I don't know why I said that. All of my Apple Watch faces are the 3 members of Huntrix, as well as Junie.
Yeah, no.
That reminded me.
Yeah. But no,
Do
I
you-
have watched it. I watched it with one friend, and then I inflicted it on the my other stream group.
I have been. I fulfilled my promise. I am absolutely insufferable about it.
It's so good.
Fortunately, most people I have suggested it to, most of my friends and the like, have actually watched it in fairly short order because I suggested it like in a text thread, and then somebody else was like, "Yep, it's real good." So there was enough support that they watched it. I just have weirdly my partner, but they don't normally like mainstream happy stuff. So
There's enough that's not happy-go-lucky necessarily that's good, but in there. But
I did
Into the
sell
Spider-Verse,
it.
They'll like it.
I did sell it as I was a sobbing mess by the end.
Yeah.
To them. And then my roommates, but they don't watch fucking anything unless it's like supernatural or something else they've seen 17,000 times.
I used to like Supernatural. Anyway,
I like Supernatural a lot, but
I used to.
rewatching it 19 times.
Yeah, and then it became bad.
They have great. They actually have great taste. They just like rewatching the same.
Yes,
stuff.
I noticed that
Nothing
your
wrong
initiative
with
number
that.
was really weird there.
Yep. You were saying, Jeff?
It was 14.1900000001.
Odd, but okay.
I don't know why.
It was like 19 O's. It was 19 zeros.
Why is mine not? God damn it! There, go make it through. Thank you. I'm going probably last.
There's the burning skeleton is going last, actually.
Okay, fair enough. Almost last.
You are tied second to last with the knights skeletons, I believe.
It depends on their initiative.
If they're armored, probably not that high.
All right, Morgan, you get the first go.
That's so weird. The paladin going first.
Right?
Johnny, did you change my armor class?
I didn't.
No. It went from 18 to 14.
I'm assuming it should be 18.
Yeah.
I will reset it to 18.
You have an 18 AC?
They're
Without
a rogue.
armor. I'm also not wearing armor.
Gross.
Yeah, that is legitimately kind of gross.
I don't
In
have that because
an
paladin.
admirational kind of way, but
Yeah. But yeah, longsword and shield out, the scarred holy symbol of Tyr showing. As Morgan reaches back and reaches out and looks at Astra and Igraine. Puts the hand out. The red words on the back of the gauntlet start wrapping around your arms as well, and start to glow gold. I am activating my other channel divinity for my subclass, or one of my other channel divinities. Golden Shell. As an action, I can use my channel divinity to create a protective shroud around a number of creatures within 30 feet, equal to my proficiency bonus. So you two, you gain a D10 multiplied by temperature point equal to a D10 times the highest level of pally slot I have access to. While you have those temp, you are resistant to bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing damage.
yeah.
Roll your D10.
Protect the squishies.
And I believe you only have access to level 1 spells right
I
now.
only have access to level 1, so it'll be a D10. So 10 temporary hit points.
10 temporary hit points for both of you.
And while you have those, you are resistant to physical damage. Which, surprise, skeletons do mostly that.
Yep. So 10 temporary hit points, you said?
Yep.
Yes.
Dope.
And while you have those temporary hit points, you are resistant to physical damage.
Fantastic.
Yes. I love this subclass. It's extremely fitting.
All right, so that's your action.
That
What's
is
the
my
rest of your
action. I'm going to use my my movement to 5, 10, 10, 15, 20. And I think I'm just... Oh, actually. Bonus action, Divine Favor.
All right.
How long does this actually last?
Attacks until the spell ends. Your attacks with weapons deal an extra 1d4 radiant damage on a hit.
1 minute.
Yeah, I was going to assume a minute. Yeah.
1 minute, not concentration. Just extra d4 to all my attacks. That'll be my turn.
Ygraine. You are muted.
Yeah. Ygraine's... I need to get to... Okay, yeah.
I would normally apply some of our music, but I don't have Sen's control to actually put the now playing on the on the screen.
Ygraine is going to start singing. Upbeat, happy, like completely ass backwards from her aesthetic, just like sugary sweet children's songs, but still in that sort of Eastern European like country folk voice that she has.
The Russian grandmas from that one Eurovision.
I would have died laughing if you just said it was K-pop.
How it's done.
You said sugary sweet, and my next thought was hyperpop.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong.
Full Carly Rae Jepsen.
Damn it! Now I love Astra, but I am so regretting not replaying, reconstituting the character that I play in Jack's Everyone is Bards game. Who is a drag queen, who I use every time there's a drag performance. I just take a modern song and I say, yeah, this is the fantasy equivalent of that.
Yeah, fair. There's nothing wrong with the Scanlan approach.
Yep.
So the four of you will receive 4 temporary hit points until this spell ends on my next turn.
Okay.
Which will not stack with the 10 that you've already got from Morgan.
Correct.
No, it won't, but it will provide temp HP to other members of the party.
Yes.
Correct.
And to Morgan themselves.
Fine. If you all manage to murder Astra at some point, Ray/January will 100% be coming into this.
All right, so kill Astra.
Noted.
Got it.
We need to find you a College of Idols bard.
May I point you directly at the one that just goes full Fae?
All right. Anything else other than your hex? You are muted, Inzu.
I am. That was. Action. Okay. And then. Okay, so in the midst, when there is a beat in the song where it should stop, Ygraine just lets out this cackle that sounds like several children's voices just giggling all together, disembodied away from her. And then right back into cheery song. as she uses cackle to extend her hex another round.
Staying where you are.
Yes.
All right. Ingrid.
Actually, we are going to move. Now that she's done that, we're going to move 10 feet this way, which should still keep everybody in the emanation for the time being.
All right. Ingrid.
Yeet.
Yeet.
Zoomies.
I will say, with a 24 stealth having been rolled ahead of time, you do manage to get a drop on this skeleton.
As I dash around the tree, I come zooming out of nowhere at him. So that was bonus action dash. Because I was more than 30 feet away from him.
Mhm.
And short sword
With advantage.
on Vantage. A 22 to hit.
22 does hit.
For 9.
Is that counting your sneak attack?
No, not yet.
Add sneak attack.
What is my sneak attack right now?
2d6?
Yeah, I think it's 2d6.
Roll class, sneak attack.
I don't think third. I'm not sure if third hits 2 yet.
It should go the use, unless it's changed to 24, and I don't think it has. It goes up every odd level.
Yeah, it's 2d6.
Oh, is it? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's every odd level. The die
So-
count increases.
That shows
2d6.
you how little I've played rogues.
Rogue is my pet class. My favorite character of all time is a rogue. So
Fair enough.
So with 18 damage, Ingrid just kind of darts out from out of sight, hiding behind a tree, and just like rides up and just slices straight through this zombie farmer's neck, and its head just rolls and the body just collapses. As that one is destroyed. But now it is skeleton turn.
Uh-oh.
It is time to rattle him, boys.
Well, that's all, folks.
As a close target has been presented. Skeletons with short swords and shields, equivalent of, they're really farming implements and wooden planks, but you know, will approach Ingrid and make attacks. I need to set you on public rather than whisper. That is a 15, which will miss. And a 13, which will also miss. As the two of these shambling skeletons approach you and just kind of flail wildly with farming implements at you, and you just kind of slip to the side of both swings. These things are not particularly well animated at the moment. It doesn't seem like.
We might both be undead, but I'm better put together.
The next one of the armored skeletons.
Come at me.
Bro.
that's my job.
This particular skeleton sort of steps forward with purpose, as if it has a little bit more of a spark to its mind, and it seems to like shove one of these skeletons aside and takes up a formation between two of them, and like growls something at them, and they both raise shields in formation with it, and it sort of reaches up and presses the shield towards you, and then you barely have time to react as you try and back up from the shield. A sword comes lunging out underneath it. As the skeleton captain benefits from phalanx formation, skeleton has advantage on attack rolls and dex saves while standing within 5 feet of a skeleton ally wielding a shield. As it goes for a long sword attack with advantage. That's a 22 to hit,
Oof.
which will do 5 damage.
Which will do 3.
Yes, because you have resistance from the
Resistance to slashing.
and the second attack, which is double fumbles,
Oof,
even with
Oh
advantage.
no!
buddy.
It rolls 2 1s with its attack with advantage.
Oh, I now
think
feel
fair.
bad for it.
I don't.
I want to adopt it.
As the-
That's
the
our
skill-
goblin.
The skeleton captain lunges at you and cuts across as you slide to the side and manage to avoid most of it. But it seems to snag on one of the other skeletons as it's pulling back for a second strike.
Pulling it
Its
out of
sword
the
gets-
ribs.
Its sword gets caught in one of the other skeleton's ribs.
I feel super bad for it.
Astra.
No, we're not
I
keeping
feel
it.
super bad for it. Astra does not. So Astra is going to Astra's gonna Eldritch blast that incompetent captain motherfucker. Which one are we looking at here?
This one is the one that got stuck.
Yeah, that's the price for failure.
21 hits.
The price for failure is a 21 to hit for 3 damage.
3 damage.
I mean, it's kind of cheap.
At which point, she proceeds to look up at the sky and say, "Really? That's the best you can do, you stupid future version of me?"
That's the best you can do right now.
It's your power, you bitch. And that is, I don't think I have anything. Just for fun, because because it's a bonus action and it is a cantrip, I am going to cast Moment to Think.
Cast a spell, stop time for everyone but yourself. You can take one additional action and move around in your space while no time passes for other creatures. The action can be used only to take search, study, or utilize. Furthermore, you can't affect or damage any creature or object other than objects you're wearing carrying. If an object leaves your hand, it comes further in time. Okay, so you get like a brief moment to like ponder.
Look around and think.
Take a perception action.
I would like to. We are outside of this place. I want to take a moment to examine the building and see if there's any sense of there is additional threat coming from inside.
Make me a perception check with your search.
Okay.
I love that cantrip.
It is. So I rolled an 18. Listen, there are a bunch of, these are from the Valsa's guide. I took a bunch of time related abilities because
I love
relationship
like explicitly a utility and not a combat cantrip. Like it's just
absolutely.
I'm gonna take a second and look around.
So I got an 18.
With an 18, you get it like you stare through the frozen flames as time is stopped for you for this brief moment.
Yep.
And you notice not another threat, but what looks to be someone still alive cowering amidst the flames as their home burns down around them.
Okay. So once time restores, I just immediately say, "There's some chicken shit bitch still in the place for those who care." And that's
Sounds
my
like
turn.
Sounds like Morgan's problem.
It does.
Yep.
Kind of her entire deal.
Meanwhile,
No, there are the Valsa's guide time related abilities our spells are fucking really well balanced for the most part, and just really fun. And I took them all.
Valda's is probably one of my favorite homebrew books. It is very surprisingly well balanced.
It's legitimately really good.
I love Valda's so much.
I am super excited for like delay, being able to cast delay recall, particularly.
The skeleton warrior, who is not a skeleton captain, he
Skeleton
seems similarly
warrior.
tough and armored, but he is not quite as intelligent. Just walks up to Morgan and takes a swing. It's a 10, we'll probably miss.
No.
The burning skeleton turns around, sees what's going on. You just see its flaming skull surveying the battlefield, and it just raises a hand and hurls flame at Astra. With an 8 to miss.
That is a miss.
You just have these guys to public because they're on whisper right now. And
The only reason she doesn't mock it is because it is an undead and thus has, in this case, probably has no sentience, so it won't understand.
I will leave to the players. Do you want to hold out and finish this fight, or shall we begin at the top of the round next time?
I would prefer to begin at the top of the round next time.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. All right. So, with that, we will continue this battle against these devious undead with a civilian life hanging in the balance as the building burns down around them next time. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye,
Goodbye,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.